Klein Tools voltage detector in my pocket keeps beeping even though I'm 40 feet from the nearest hotline. Been doing that since we crossed into Rutland County. I keep pulling out, checking the battery, 3/4 charged, same as an hour ago, then putting it back. It beeps again. Milwaukee makes a better one, probably, but I've used Klein since my apprenticeship in 2009, and you don't mess with what works. Except it's not working, or it's working too well. Tommy, you hearing this? I'm shouting over the diesel generator running our floodlights. Route 7 is black except for our work zone. The ice storm 2 days ago took out every pole from Middlebury to Manchester. 42 miles of line down. National Grid sent our crew up from Springfield because the local boys are underwater. Or under ice. Everything's under ice. Tommy Habernath doesn't answer. He's up the pole already, 20 feet, hooking his safety belt. Tommy's 53, been doing this since before I was born, and he climbs like he's still 20. Makes me look slow, and I'm 36. His daughter Becca just started at UVM engineering, which makes him proud enough to show pictures to every waitress at the Route 4 Dunkin' Donuts. I've seen her acceptance letter 3 times. Tommy, he looks down. His face is lit weird by the floods. Shadows wrong, like the lights coming from inside the ice, coating everything. What? My detector's going nuts. Lines are dead, Elliot. You confirmed it yourself. He goes back to rigging the pulley system. We're replacing a crossbeam that snapped under ice weight. 40-pound beam bent like aluminum foil. I've never seen that. 20 years ago, maybe before they upgraded to the steel core models, but not with these. The radio crackles. Truck 4, this is dispatch. Status. I grabbed the handset from the F-550's cab. Our truck, brand new last month, already has a crack in the windshield from flying ice. Dispatch. We're at mile marker 64. Replacing crossbeam. Maybe 90 minutes to re-energize this section. Copy. Be advised, hospitals in Rutland are on backup generators. They're requesting priority restoration. Roger that. We're moving fast as. Static screams through the radio. Not normal static. It sounds like no, I'm wrong. It's just interference. The whole grid's a mess up here. Dispatch, say again, nothing. Dead air, then don't touch. More static. Current in the ice. Dispatch, you're breaking up. Repeat last. Silence. The generator chugs. Tommy's Milwaukee impact wrench whines as he bolts the new crossbeam in place. My detector beeps. I know I should tell Tommy to come down. Check the lines again with the fluke meter, the good one that cost National Grid $800 and never lies. But we're already behind schedule. Rutland Hospital has how many patients on ventilators? The dispatcher said 40, maybe 50. Every hour without main power is another hour closer to someone's generator failing. So I don't say anything. I watch Tommy work. The ice makes everything look like glass. The pine trees are glass. The road is glass. The power lines we strung back up this morning are glass. And when the wind moves them, they make a sound like wind chimes, except wrong. Lower. Resonant. I keep thinking about Becca Habernath's engineering scholarship and how proud Tommy is and how I should probably tell him to come down. Elliot, hand me the come along. I grab the cable puller from the truck bed. 3-ton capacity, weighs maybe 40 pounds. My gloves of the mechanics were ones with the reinforced palms, but even through those I can feel cold coming off the metal. Not normal cold. This is March in Vermont. We're used to cold, but this is different. It's like the come along was in a freezer. In liquid nitrogen. Tommy, this thing's frozen solid. What? He's not listening. He's focused on connecting the new line to the crossbeam, feeding it through the ceramic insulator. The line's copper core with aluminum cladding, standard 336.4 MCM ACSR. I know this because I've done it 5,000 times. Except this line has ice inside it. Not on it, inside. I can see it through the aluminum like the copper froze from the inside out. Tommy don't. He touches it. The arc is blue-white and silent. No kraki, no poppy. Just light. So bright I can see the bones in Tommy's hand through his glove. He doesn't scream. His jaw locks open, but nothing comes out except this wet clicking sound. like he's trying to chew through his own tongue. I'm running. 40 feet looks like 40 miles. My boots slip on black ice and I'm down, then up, then the pole is right there and Tommy's falling and I'm catching him except I'm not. He hits me and we both go down and the back of my head cracks against frozen asphalt and I taste blood. Tommy, talk to me. His eyes are open. They're moving left, right, up, down, but not together. His left eye is looking at me and his right eye is looking at the sky. And I know that's not how eyes work. That's not neurologically possible, but I'm watching it happen. The Klein detector in my pocket is screaming now. Solid tone, not beeps. I pull it out and it's reading 277 volts, which is impossible because the line is dead. I confirmed it dead, and Tommy's 40 feet from any hot wire and he's on the ground on rubber-soled boots. No path to ground. No way current could. His hand grabs my wrist. Tommy, but it's not Tommy. The pressure is wrong. Too strong. Tommy's got arthritis in 3 fingers from 40 years of climbing. He showed me the x-rays last week, complained about the cold making it worse. And this grip has no arthritis. This grip is crushing the bones in my wrist. Let go. Tommy, you're hurting. His mouth opens. The clicking stops. And he says, in a voice that sounds like Tommy's voice run through a radio at low battery, live. Lines. Live. Then he lets go and stands up. Just stands up. No wincing. No checking himself for injuries. His left leg is bent wrong at the knee. I can see it through his Carhartt bibs, the joint's backwards, but he's standing on it like it's fine, and he's walking toward the pole. Tommy, stop. You're hurt. Your leg is. He starts climbing. I'm not making decisions anymore. My body is moving and my brain is watching. I grab the radio. Dispatch. This is truck 4. We have a medical emergency. Lineman down, no. Lineman up. We need an ambulance at mile marker 64, route 7. He touched a deadline and now Tommy's at the top of the pole. 35 feet up, climbing on a shattered knee. And he's fast. Faster than before. He reaches for the line we just strung, the one with ice inside it, and grabs it with both hands. The arc this time has sound. It cracks like lightning, and the light turns everything white, and I can see every tree for 100 yards lit up like noon, and Tommy's skeleton is visible inside him, and the skeleton is wrong. Too many ribs. Vertebrae in the neck that bend in directions vertebrae don't bend. Then darkness. The floodlights are out. Generator's still running, but nothing's lit. Dispatch, respond. The radio's dead. I hit the power button. Nothing. I check the battery pack. It's a Motorola APX 6000, 3 hours of charge left according to the indicator, but the screen is black. My truck's headlights are out. The F550's dashboard is black. The generator is running, but the floodlights are dead. Everything with a battery is dead. Except my Klein detector. It's still screaming, and now it's reading 480 volts. Tommy climbs down from the pole. His movements are smooth. Practiced. He's not favoring the shattered knee. When he reaches the ground, he stands there, facing me, and the only light is moonlight through ice-covered trees, and his eyes are reflecting that light wrong. Like a cat's eyes. Like a deer's eyes when you catch them in your high beams. Tommy, it's me. It's Elliot. We've been working together for 6 years. You showed me pictures of Becca last week. You're so proud of her. Engineering at UVM. You remember? He takes a step toward me. Your knee is broken. You need a hospital. I'm going to help you, okay? Just don't move. Stay right there. Another step. The moonlight catches his face, and I can see his pupils are white. Not clouded like cataracts, white like LEDs. Glowing. The Klein detector in my hand stops screaming, goes silent, then starts beeping again, but different. It's beeping in rhythm, 1 beat per second, like a heartbeat. Tommy's mouth opens, and that clicking sound comes out, but organized now. Patterned. It sounds almost like language, almost like he's trying to tell me something. Then headlights cut through the darkness. A vehicle coming up Route 7 from the south, moving fast. Too fast for these conditions. The engine sound is wrong. Sputtering, misfiring. It's our other truck. Truck 3. Jamie and Russo. The truck fishtails, corrects, then slide sideways into a snowbank 30 feet from our position. The driver's door opens and Jamie Peltier falls out. Not climbs, falls. She's 41, got 2 kids in middle school, always brings homemade banana bread to the morning safety meetings even though I told her 100 times she doesn't have to. It makes me feel guilty because I never bring anything. Help! She's crawling through snow, away from the truck. These Russos don't let him. The passenger door opens. Russo gets out. Frank Russo, 38, lives in Brattleboro, coaches Little League, has a Chevy Silverado he rebuilt himself and won't shut up about. His face is burnt. The left side is black, charred, and I can smell cooking meat. And his left eye is gone, just a socket full of white light. He's smiling. Jamie reaches me, grabs my legs. The lines. We were re-energizing the section at mile marker 59 and Russo touched the splice point. And he changed. Elliot, something's in the electricity, something's using the current too. Tommy clicks. Russo clicks back. And they both look at me. And I understand 2 things simultaneously. First, my Klein detector isn't detecting voltage. It's detecting them, whatever they are now. Second, there are 87 miles of power line between here and the Springfield substation. We've been re-energizing sections all day, splicing connections, touching lines. How many crew trucks are out here? Jamie's shaking. We have to run. We have to. Where? I'm pulling her up. My voice sounds calm, which is wrong because I'm not calm. I'm so far from calm I can't even see calm anymore. Where do we run? We're 40 miles from anywhere. No radio. No phones. No. The generator cuts out. Just eyes. The silence is total except for wind through ice branches and that clicking sound Tommy and Russo are making. Then, from the north, more headlights. Multiple vehicles. Coming fast. That's truck 5 and truck 6, Jamie whispers. That's Henderson and Lee and the whole northern crew. Elliot, they're all coming here. My Klein detector beeps faster. And somewhere in my mind, past the fear, past the part that wants to curl up in the snow and wait for this to be over, there's a lineman's voice. My voice, the professional part that spent 16 years learning how current flows, how systems connect, how the grid works. The grid. Everything's connected. Every line, every transformer, every substation. If this is in the electricity traveling through the lines, then re-energizing the grid means spreading it. Like a circuit completing. Like closing a switch. I look at Tommy. At what used to be Tommy. The hospital. Rutland Hospital. They're on backup generators now. But when we restore main power, Jamie understands. Oh God. The ventilators. The 4 pumps. Every piece of equipment that plugs in. How many patients? Dispatch said 40. 50, maybe 50 people on machines. 50 people who become this. The headlights are closer. I can count 3 trucks. Maybe 4. The clicking sound from Tommy and Russo is getting louder, and it's not random anymore. It's rhythmic. Organized. They're calling them in. Like a signal. Jamie's crying. What do we do? I look at the pole. At the new line we just strung. At the junction box on the utility pole that controls this whole section. And I know exactly what we have to do. The junction box is locked with a Master Lock 410. I know because I installed it myself 2 days ago when we started this job. The key's on my belt ring with 11 other keys, all tagged with color-coded labels because National Grid has protocols and I follow protocols even when my hands are shaking so hard I drop the whole ring in the snow. Elliot, they're getting closer. Jamie's watching the headlights. 3 trucks now, definitely 3, maybe 100 yards out. I find the key. Red tag. My fingers are numb. Not from cold, from adrenaline, from whatever's happening to my nervous system when I think about Tommy's backwards knee and Russo's burnt face still smiling. The junction box opens. Inside is standard distribution gear, circuit breakers, disconnect switches, terminal blocks. Everything looks normal. Everything looks like it should. Except there's frost inside the box, and frost shouldn't form inside an enclosed weatherproof box, and the frost is blue. Not white. Blue. Jamie, when Russo touched the line, what exactly happened? She's not looking at me. She's watching Tommy and Russo, who are standing perfectly still now, 20 feet away, just watching us. Waiting. He was doing a splice. Standard procedure. Used the Burndy connector, crimped it proper. I watched him do it right. Then he touched the line to test voltage, and you saw the arc? No, that's the thing. There was no arc. The line was dead. We confirmed it dead with the fluke meter and the proximity detector, double-checked both, but when he touched it, he just locked up, like he was being electrocuted but silent. Just him going rigid and this smell, like ozone but wrong, like burning plastic, and his eyes went white, and the lead truck is 60 yards out now. I can see faces through the windshield. Henderson and Lee. 2 more bodies in the back seat. How long? I asked. How long from when he touched the line to when he changed? Maybe 10 seconds. Maybe less. Why? Because I need to know how fast this spreads. How fast the current carries it. If I'm going to cut power to this whole section, I need to understand what I'm dealing with. The detector in my pocket beeps. I pull it out. It's reading 680 volts now, which makes no sense. Nothing in this box should be reading that high. Residential distribution runs at 240 maximum. Unless it's them. Jamie sees it too. The voltage goes up when they get closer. She's right. I point the detector at Tommy. 700 volts. At Russo. 650. At the approaching trucks. The reading climbs to 800, 900, 1,100 volts as they get closer. They're not just infected. They're charged. Carrying current in their bodies like biological capacitors. My phone buzzes in my pocket. I pull out. No signal. Hasn't had signal since we crossed into Rutland County, but there's a text message. From a number I don't recognize. Just 2 words. Cut everything. Then the phone dies. Screen goes black. I hit the power button, but nothing happens. Did you see that? I showed Jamie the dead phone. See what? Someone texted me. Told me to cut everything. Who? I don't know. But I know they're right. The circuit breakers in this junction box control 12 miles of line. Houses, farms, businesses. 2,000 people, maybe more. Cut the breakers and they're dark. No power. March in Vermont. Temperatures dropping below freezing every night. People with electric heat, electric water pumps, medical equipment. But if I don't cut it, and this thing spreads through the grid, Henderson's truck slides to a stop 40 yards out. The doors open. Henderson climbs out first. 56 years old, 3 years from retirement, showed me pictures of his boat last week. A gritty white 232 he's been restoring for 5 years. His face is burnt like Russo's. His eyes are white LEDs. Lee gets out next. Then 2 more linemen I don't recognize. Must be from the northern crew based out of Burlington. All of them moving wrong. Smooth. They start walking toward us. Not running. Just walking, and somehow that's worse. Elliot, what are you doing? I'm reaching for the main breaker. It's a square D QO model, 200 amp rated, and I've thrown this exact type of breaker 5,000 times in my career, but my hand is frozen. Because cutting this breaker means admitting this is real. Means admitting Tommy isn't coming back. Means leaving 2,000 people in the dark because of what I think is happening, not what I know is happening. Elliot, the linemen are 30 yards away. Tommy and Russo have started moving too, converging from the other direction. We're surrounded. I throw the breaker. Nothing happens. The switch moves to OFF position, but the indicator light stays green. Still energized. That's wrong. I flip it again. Still green. That's not. The breaker should cut power. It's physically disconnecting the circuit. There's no way. Jamie grabs my shoulder. They're using the ice. Look at the lines. She's right. The power lines above us are coated in ice, thick as my arm, and inside that ice is a blue glow. Faint but visible. The current isn't running through the copper anymore. It's running through the ice itself, using it as a conductor, bypassing every breaker and disconnect switch in the system. That's impossible. Ice is an insulator. Current doesn't flow through ice, except I'm watching it happen. We need to break the physical connection. Jamie's already moving, heading for the truck. We need to cut the lines themselves. You got the cutters. The Burndy hydraulic cable cutters are in the truck bed. They can shear through 750 MCM copper like butter, 40 tons of cutting force, but they weigh 60 pounds and need 2 people to operate properly. The linemen are 20 yards away, moving faster now. The clicking sound is everywhere, coming from all of them, synchronized. I grab the cutters. Jamie takes the other handle. We're running toward the pole, the same pole Tommy climbed, and I'm trying not to think about how we're about to cut a live power line, which is literally the first thing they teach you not to do in lineman school, the thing that kills more electrical workers than anything else. On 3, Jamie's already positioned. 1, the linemen are 10 yards away. 2, Tommy's eyes are so bright I can see the ice crystals in his eyebrows. 3, we squeeze. The hydraulic system pressurizes. The cutting blades close on the power line, and the arc isn't blue-white this time. It's blue-black. It doesn't make sound, it makes anti-sound, like a vacuum, like a speaker playing silence at maximum volume. The light reaches out like tentacles, and every piece of metal in a 50-foot radius starts glowing. Tools, belt buckles, my wedding ring that I haven't worn since Laura and I divorced, but I still carry in my pocket like an idiot. The cutters explode. Not metaphorically. The hydraulic reservoir ruptures, and 60 pounds of hydraulic fluid sprays everywhere, and the handles tear themselves out of our grip, and Jamie's screaming, and I'm blind. Everything's white, my retinas are burnt out. I can't see. Then I can. Vision returns in spots. Purple afterimages everywhere. Jamie's on the ground. The linemen are standing in a circle around us. 12 of them now. I don't know where the others came from. They're clicking in unison. The sound is deafening, and the power line is intact. Not even scratched. There's no cut mark on the aluminum cladding at all. It repaired itself, Jamie whispers. The current repaired the line. She's right. I watch the arc reach out and fuse the metal back together. Like welding in reverse. Like the electricity is alive. My detector is screaming again. I look at the reading, 2,400 volts. Enough to kill instantly. Enough to cook nerve tissue faster than neurons can fire. Tommy steps forward. His mouth opens, and that clicking resolves into something almost like words. Live. Lines. Must. Connect. Connect what? I don't know why I'm asking. He's not Tommy anymore. But some part of me still sees my friend's face. Still remembers showing him how to splice fiber optic last summer. Everything. Everyone. The voice is Tommy's vocal cords making sounds they weren't designed to make. The grid. Connects. Must spread. Must energize. All lines. All people. All current. Why? But I know why. I know because I've spent 16 years working with electricity, understanding how it moves, how it seeks the path of least resistance, how it wants to flow. This is an infection. It's propagation. It's the current itself, evolved somehow, using organic tissue as a conductor. And we've been re-energizing lines all day. How many sections did we restore? I asked Jamie. Since we got here yesterday morning. How many? She's crying. Maybe 20, 25, 25 sections. Each section serving hundreds of homes, thousands of people. And when we restore main power to each section, every appliance energizes, every light switch completes a circuit, every person touching a live outlet or a metal doorknob or a car door in the wrong moment becomes a new conductor. The hospital. I grabbed Jamie. Rutland Hospital. What time does main power restoration happen? She checks her watch, analog Timex, still working because it has no battery. Schedule says 400 hours. She looks at the moon position, calculating. Maybe 2 hours from now, when the Springfield substation completes the loop. 2 hours. Then 40 ventilators energize. 44 pumps. 50 patients in metal hospital beds connected to electrical equipment. 50 more of these things. We have to stop it, I say. We have to cut power at the source. The substation? Elliot, that's 40 miles from here. We have no truck, no radio, and she gestures at the circle of linemen. We're surrounded. She's right. We're going nowhere. Tommy and the others are closing in. 5 feet away now. I can feel voltage radiating off them like heat. My fillings ache. The metal zipper on my jacket vibrates. Then, headlights from the south. Not a utility truck this time. A civilian vehicle. A Subaru Outback, probably 2015 model, moving fast enough to be reckless. It slides past Henderson's truck, fishtails, corrects, and stops 20 feet from our position. The driver's door opens. A woman gets out. Late 50s, wearing North Face gear that's seen better days, carrying a shotgun. Not a hunting shotgun. A Remington 870 tactical model with an extended magazine tube. "Get in," she shouts. "Now." I don't move. "Who are?" "Dr. Patricia Vance, formerly with Vermont Public Service Department. Currently the only person in this state who knows what you're dealing with." "Get in." The linemen turn toward her. 12 pairs of LED eyes. They start clicking, the sound building like cicadas. Dr. Vance pumps the shotgun. "You have 3 seconds before they realize I'm a threat." 3, 2. Jamie's already running. She grabs my arm and we're moving, diving into the Outback's back seat. Dr. Vance slams her door and floors it. The Subaru's all-wheel drive kicks in and we're accelerating, fishtailing, the lineman reaching for us but too slow, too late. In the rearview mirror, I see Tommy standing in the middle of Route 7, his eyes glowing white, and even from 100 yards away, I can still hear that clicking sound. "How do you know what this is?" I'm shouting over the engine noise. "The Outback's running rough, misfiring." "How did you find us?" Dr. Vance doesn't take her eyes off the road. "Because I'm the one who created it." Dr. Vance's Subaru dies exactly 4 miles south of our worksite. The engine doesn't sputter or cough. It just cuts out mid-acceleration, like someone flipped a switch. We coast for maybe 30 seconds before she guides us onto the shoulder, which isn't really a shoulder, just a narrow gap between snowbank and ice-slicked asphalt. Out. She's already moving, grabbing a duffel bag from the back. "They'll be here in 5 minutes. Maybe less." Out. Jamie's looking back at the darkness. No headlights. No sound except wind through frozen trees. They're on foot. We're 4 miles away. They're not on foot anymore. Dr. Vance pulls out what looks like a car battery attached to a modified CB radio. She flips switches and the radio crackles to life. They're in the lines, moving through the current at near light speed. Any powered line within 10 miles of them becomes a highway. Then we're screwed. I say, there's power lines everywhere. Not everywhere. She points east toward darkness. 3 miles that direction is the Chittenden Brook watershed. No development, no power infrastructure. We can reach it before they triangulate our position. Triangulate. Jamie grabs my arm. "Elliot, what is she talking about?" I'm watching Dr. Vance assemble equipment with the speed of someone who's done this before. She's attaching alligator clips to the battery, connecting wires to the CB radio, checking a handheld GPS unit that looks military grade. Every movement is efficient. Practiced. "You said you created this." I keep my voice level. "What does that mean?" She doesn't stop working. Vermont Public Service Department contracted me in 2019 to develop smart grid integration systems. The goal was improving power distribution efficiency through real-time load management. I was using modified transformer bacteria, naturally occurring microbes that metabolize electromagnetic fields. You're saying bacteria did this? I'm saying I engineered bacteria to interface with electrical current for monitoring purposes, and someone at the department, I don't know who, decided to field test them without proper containment protocols. They introduced the bacteria into the Springfield substation on March 2nd. 6 days ago, same day as the ice storm. Jamie looks at me. The ice storm wasn't natural? The ice storm was natural, Dr. Vance says. The bacteria in the power lines was not. When the lines went down and you crews started repairs, you made physical contact with contaminated infrastructure. Every splice you made, every line you touched, transferred bacterial colonies into your nervous systems. I think about Tommy grabbing my wrist. His grip too strong, his eyes glowing. But we're not infected, I say. We touched the same lines they did. Did you complete a circuit? Did current flow through your body at the moment of contact. I remember Tommy at the top of the pole, reaching for the line with both hands. The silence. Tommy did. Russo did. All of them did. That's the activation trigger. The bacteria remain dormant until they detect current flowing through neural tissue. Then they multiply exponentially, replacing normal cellular function with bioelectric interfaces. The human body becomes a conductor, a node in the network. Network, Jamie repeats. You're saying they're connected? I'm saying they're networked through the power grid itself. Every infected individual becomes a relay point. They communicate through electromagnetic pulses, that clicking sound you heard. It's data transmission. They're coordinating. The CB radio crackles. Through static I hear, mile marker 64, 3 individuals escaped. Designate pursuit priority alpha. Dr. Vance kills the radio. They're talking about us. We need to move now, but I'm not moving. I'm thinking about the text message on my phone. Cut everything. Someone texted me, told me to cut power. Was that you? No. Then who? She looks at me properly for the first time. Her eyes are tired. Guilty. Someone else who knows what's happening. Someone in the department who's trying to stop it from the inside. I don't know their identity. They've been feeding me information for 3 days. What information? That the contamination is spreading through the grid faster than projected. That every restored power line becomes a vector for transmission. That the department's official policy is to maintain grid restoration on schedule despite civilian casualties. Jamie's voice is small. They know. The power company knows what's happening, and they're still ordering us to re-energize lines. They're ordering you because every energized line expands the network. And someone very high up wants the network expanded. Why? But I know why. I've seen Tommy and the others move. I've watched them coordinate. Whatever these things are, they're organized, efficient, perfect workers who don't need sleep, don't need food, don't question orders. Think about it, Dr. Vance says. A workforce that never tires, never makes mistakes, never demands higher wages or better conditions. All you need is electrical infrastructure and human bodies. The department's been struggling with lineman shortages for years. This solves that problem permanently by turning people into what? Zombies. Worse, conscious zombies. They retain some personality, some memory, enough to be effective at their previous jobs. They just don't have free will anymore. They're part of the network. I think about Tommy's backwards knee, him climbing the pole anyway. How do we stop it? You don't. Not at this scale. The bacteria have colonized approximately 40% of Vermont's power infrastructure. Maybe more. When the grid fully re-energizes, when Springfield Substation completes the distribution loop at 0400 hours, every home, every business, every hospital in a 100-mile radius becomes a potential infection site. The hospital, Jamie says. Rutland Hospital. 50 patients on ventilators. Dr. Vance nods. They energize at 0400. Every ventilator, every 4-pump, every metal bed frame becomes a contact point. 50 patients. Prunos. Doctors. Family members visiting in the ICU. By 0500, you're looking at 200 new network nodes. By 0600, the infection spreads to everyone in the building. Then we cut power at the substation. Manually, pull the main breakers before 0400. The Springfield substation is 40 miles southwest. It's staffed by infected personnel. They know we're trying to stop them. They'll be guarding it. How many? Unknown. But the department had 12 engineers and 36 maintenance staff at Springfield. Assume all infected. 48 of those things. Coordinated. Protecting the substation. Jamie's shaking. We can't fight 48. We can't even fight 12. We barely escaped 6. She's right. We're 2 linemen and a microbiologist with a shotgun, facing an enemy that travels through power lines at light speed and coordinates through electromagnetic pulses. We're going to lose. Dr. Vance checks her GPS. There's one option. The Killington Peak Communications Tower, 7 miles east. It has independent satellite uplink capability. We can broadcast what's happening. Get federal intervention before 0400. Broadcast to who? I ask if the department knows and doesn't care. CDC, FEMA, someone who outranks the department, someone who can order a full grid shutdown. That'll kill people too, Jamie says. March in Vermont with no power? People freeze. Medical equipment fails. People die either way. Dr. Vance's voice is flat. This way, some people die from cold. The other way, everyone becomes part of the network. Choose. I hate her for making it simple. I hate that she's right. How do we reach the tower? We have no vehicle. We walk. 3 miles to the watershed, then 4 miles uphill to Killington Peak. We have, she checked her Timex, 90 minutes before they establish a perimeter. After that, they'll have enough nodes to blanket this area with electromagnetic sensing. They'll detect our nervous systems from half a mile away. Our nervous systems? Every human generates bioelectric current. Normally, it's too faint to detect, but they're networked now. Pooled processing power. They can sense you like you're a beacon. Jamie laughs. It's not a good sound. So we're running through a frozen forest in the dark, trying to reach a tower 7 miles away, while being hunted by electrified zombies who can sense our brain activity. Is that right? Yes. And if we succeed? If we broadcast? What happens to Tommy and Russo and all the others? Dr. Vance doesn't answer right away. She's packing the battery and radio back into her duffel. When she speaks, her voice is quieter. If federal intervention happens fast enough, they'll shut down the entire Northeast grid. Every power plant from Maine to Pennsylvania goes dark. Without current flowing through the network, the bacteria lose coordinated function. The infected individuals, they'll still be infected, but they'll be isolated. They'll be alive, technically, but not human. No, I think about Tommy showing me pictures of Becca. His pride, his joy, that's gone now. Even if we save his body, Tommy's already dead. There's something you're not telling us. I say, what happens if we don't reach the tower in time? Dr. Vance shoulders the duffel. At 0400, Springfield Substation energizes the full distribution loop. Every home and business in central Vermont receives power. Statistically, in the first 60 seconds, approximately 2,000 people will make contact with energized surfaces. Light switches, appliances, car door handles in attached garages. 2,000 new network nodes. Within 24 hours, the infection density reaches critical mass, which means the network achieves consciousness. Not individual consciousness, collective consciousness. 2,000 coordinated minds operating as a single intelligence. At that point, they don't need the department anymore. They don't need anyone. They become self-sustaining, self-propagating. Jamie's voice cracks. How far could spread? The Eastern Interconnection Power Grid serves 38 states and 70 million homes. If the network achieves consciousness, if it gains control of major substations, it could theoretically spread to the entire eastern United States within 72 hours. 70 million homes. 200 million people. I look at Jamie. Her face is white. She's thinking what I'm thinking. Her 2 kids. Middle school. They're in Burlington, 100 miles north, but Burlington's on the same grid. When Springfield energizes, the current flows everywhere. My kids, she whispers. Elliot, my kids are home. They're probably watching TV right now, or, oh God, or charging their phones, or, we'll stop it. I don't know if that's true. We reach the tower. We broadcast. Federal shutdown happens before 0400. And if it doesn't, then her kids become nodes in the network. Then Tommy stays whatever he is now forever. Then 200 million people stop being people. It will, I say. Dr. Vance is already walking, heading east toward the tree line. Stay within 10 feet of me. The forest is unlit and the terrain is unstable. If you fall and break something, I'm not carrying you. Comforting, Jamie mutters. But she's moving, following Dr. Vance into darkness. I take one last look back at Route 7. In the distance, maybe 3 miles north, I can see lights. Not headlights, just light, blue-white, spreading through the air like fog. The infected are coming, and they're bringing the grid with them. The forest is black. Not dark black. The ice storm coated every tree in frozen shell, and moonlight doesn't penetrate. It reflects, bouncing around in infinite loops until the whole forest looks like the inside of a prism. I keep losing depth perception. A branch 3 feet away looks like 30 feet. A fallen log right in front of me materializes from nowhere, and I trip, barely catching myself on a birch tree that bends wrong. Too flexible, the ice coating making it into a spring. Dr. Vance moves like she's done this before. Her boots find solid ground through snow that varies from ankle deep to waist deep every 10 feet. She's using a red lens flashlight. Keeps your night vision, she said, but I can barely see Jamie in front of me, let alone the terrain. How much farther? Jamie's breathing hard. We've been walking maybe 20 minutes. 2 miles to the watershed boundary. Then the climb starts. My climb detector is in my pocket. Silent now. Either we're far enough from the infected that it's not reading them anymore, or they've learned to mask their electromagnetic signature. I don't know which possibility is worse. Tell me about the hospital. Dr. Vance doesn't slow down while talking. Rutland Hospital. What's the main power restoration sequence? Standard protocol, I say. Springfield substation energizes the trunk line at 0400. Current flows north through the distribution network. Rutland Hospital's emergency transfer switches detect main power availability and disengage the backup generators within 30 seconds. All circuits energize simultaneously, including medical equipment, everything. Ventilators, monitors for pumps, dialysis machines. Everything plugged into the wall. Why? Because the network will prioritize high-value targets. Medical equipment provides direct interface with vulnerable patients. Metal bed frames provide grounding paths. The hospital is a perfect infection vector. You're saying they planned this? I'm saying whoever introduced the bacteria into Springfield substation 6 days ago knew exactly what would happen when lines went down and repair crews made contact. This wasn't an accident. This was deployment. Jamie stops walking. Deployment? You're saying the department caused the ice storm? No, they seized the opportunity. Ice storms in Vermont happen every few years. This one was natural, but the moment lines went down, someone at the department saw a chance to field test the bacteria under real-world conditions. They ordered immediate repair operations. Rush your crews into contact with contaminated infrastructure. They wanted infection to spread. That's insane. But I'm remembering the dispatcher's urgency. The pressure to restore power quickly. Hospitals need priority restoration. Move faster. Don't waste time with safety protocols. They sacrificed us. They sent us in knowing we'd get infected. Not all of you. Only the ones who completed circuits under load. They needed initial nodes to establish the network. Once the network reached minimum viable density, it becomes self-propagating. How many nodes is minimum viable? My calculations suggested 40. The department likely has twice that already. 40 people. 40 linemen who went out after the ice storm to do their jobs, to restore power to hospitals and nursing homes and people freezing in the dark. Dr. Vance points ahead. Through the trees, I can see open space. A clearing, maybe, or that's the brook, Jamie says. Chittenden Brook. I recognize the terrain. We break through the tree line and the world opens up. The brook is frozen solid, 40 feet wide. Ice surface reflecting moonlight, so bright it hurts. On the far side, the terrain rises sharply. That's Killington Peak. For miles uphill, Dr. Vance checks her GPS, then her watch. 45 minutes to 0400. We need to move faster. We're already moving as fast as... Jamie stops. She's looking back the way we came. Do you hear that? I hear wind. I hear ice branches clicking against each other. I hear my own breathing, too fast, too loud. And I hear the other sound. Low frequency, below normal hearing range, but I can feel in my teeth, in my jaw, in the metal fillings I got when I was 16. It's not clicking anymore. It's a hum. Constant. Growing louder. They're close, Dr. Vance says. Very close. How close? Half a mile, maybe less. We're moving before she finishes speaking, running across the ice, my boots slipping and catching, and I'm thinking about the hospital again because my brain won't let it go. 50 patients on ventilators. I'm seeing their faces even though I've never met them. I'm seeing Becca Habernath, Tommy's daughter. Even though she's not at the hospital, she's at UVM, she's safe, except UVM is on the same grid, and when Springfield energizes, the whole system comes online, and Becca's probably charging her phone or using her laptop. And Elliot. Jamie grabs my jacket. Focus. We're here, the far side of the brook. The slope starts immediately, steep enough that Dr. Vance is using hands to pull herself up. The terrain is a nightmare. Loose rock under ice, hidden holes, roots that grab ankles. My detector starts beeping. I pull out. It's reading 150 volts. 200, 300. They're in the trees, Dr. Vance says. Behind us. Don't look back. Keep climbing. I look back. The forest edge is lined with them. Dozens. I count 15, 20, more emerging from darkness. Their eyes are white searchlights. The humming is so loud now, I can feel my bones vibrating. They're standing at the brook's edge, not crossing, just watching us climb. Why aren't they following? Jamie's halfway up the slope, using a birch sapling for support. No power lines, Dr. Vance shouts back. The watershed is unelectrified. They can't travel through current here. They have to cross on foot, so we're safe. No, they're coordinating, establishing perimeter. When we reach the tower and try to broadcast, they'll know. They'll converge on our position from every direction. How many? All of them. The slope gets steeper. I'm pulling myself up using exposed roots, testing each one because half are frozen solid and snap like glass. My gloves are shredded. My hands are bleeding. The Klein detector in my pocket is screaming now, constant tone, and I don't need to check it to know they're tracking us. Following our bioelectric signatures like bloodhounds. There! Dr. Vance points upward. Through the trees, I see metal structure. The communications tower. It's massive, 200 feet tall, maybe more, lattice construction, ice-coated so heavily it looks like a frozen waterfall. Is it powered? I ask. Independent satellite system. Solar panels and battery backup. Should still be operational. Should be. We reach the tower base. It's surrounded by a chain-link fence with a gate secured by combination lock. Dr. Vance pulls out a bolt cutter from her duffel and goes to work on the lock, but the metal is so cold it's brittle, and the first cut shatters the cutter blade. I grab the fence and start climbing. The chain link is coated in ice and cuts through my gloves, through skin, but I'm over the top in 15 seconds. I drop, land wrong, feel something in my ankle twist. Not broken, just angry. I limp to the gate from the inside and force it open. The hinges are frozen, but I put my shoulder into it and something gives, metal screaming, and Jamie and Dr. Vance are through. The tower base has a maintenance shed. Corrugated steel, padlocked. Dr. Vance doesn't bother with the lock. She puts the shotgun barrel against the hasp and fires. The sound is apocalyptic in the frozen silence. The hasp disintegrates. Inside, radio equipment. Exactly like Dr. Vance promised. Satellite uplink system with a control panel that looks military surplus. Everything's powered down, but there's LED indicators showing battery charge at 60%. Can you make it work? Jamie asks. Dr. Vance is already working, flipping switches, checking connections. The system's designed for emergency management broadcasts. It has priority override capability. If I can establish satellite link, we can reach FEMA regional headquarters in Boston. If solar panels are ice covered, battery backup is limited. We'll have maybe 90 seconds of transmission time before power depletes. That's enough to explain what's happening. It'll have to be. She keeps working. I watch through the shed window. The infected are closer now. Not at the tower yet, but I can see them moving through the forest below, their eyes creating a constellation of white lights. Dozens of lights. 50 maybe. More appearing every second. How long until they reach us? I ask. Dr. Vance checks her watch. 6 minutes. Maybe 7. And how long until you establish satellite link? Unknown. The system is old. Connection protocols are. She stops. The control panel is lighting up. Green indicators. A speaker crackles to life. Regional headquarters. This is emergency frequency Alpha Niner. State your identification and emergency classification. Dr. Vance grabs the microphone. This is Dr. Patricia Vance, Vermont Public Service Department. Classification critical. Requesting immediate federal intervention for biological contamination event in central Vermont power grid. Static. Then, Dr. Vance, you're not authorized for this frequency. Disconnect immediately. Negative. I am reporting active contamination affecting. Dr. Vance, we are aware of the situation in Vermont. Stand down. This is not your jurisdiction. They know. FEMA knows. They're not going to help. Dr. Vance's face goes white. You're aware? How long have you been aware? Vermont Public Service Department has been coordinating with Federal Emergency Management since March 4th. The situation is under controlled observation. Controlled observation? There are infected individuals spreading through the power grid. By 0400 the network will complete initial deployment phase. Yes, we know. The department requested federal non-intervention to allow network establishment to proceed without disruption. Your presence at this location is interfering with authorized operations. Disconnect and return to the watershed perimeter. Jamie grabs my arm. Elliot, they're not going to stop it. They want it to happen. I look out the window. The infected are climbing now. Slow but methodical. 3 minutes away, maybe less. Their humming is so loud the shed walls are vibrating. And I understand everything. The department didn't just deploy the bacteria. They coordinated with FEMA, with the federal government. This isn't an outbreak. This is rollout. Controlled deployment of a technology that turns humans into networked infrastructure. The perfect workforce for the power grid. No sick days. No retirement benefits. Just bodies that work until they stop. How many people are in on this? I asked Dr. Vance. How high up does this go? She doesn't answer. She's trying other frequencies, but every channel returns the same message. Stand down. Return to the watershed perimeter. Do not interfere with authorized operations. We're alone, Jamie says. No one's coming to help. The infected reach the fence. They don't climb it. They rip it apart. The chain link tears like tissue paper. Metal screaming. They're coming through. Dr. Vance drops the microphone. She looks at me, and in her eyes, I see the same calculation I'm making. We have 60 seconds before they reach this shed. We have a shotgun with maybe 4 shells left. We have no backup, no support, no escape route. We have one choice left. The tower, I say. Can we bring it down? What? The tower. It's 200 feet of steel lattice. There's explosive bolts in the base for controlled demolition in emergencies. Every tower this size has them. If we bring it down, if we drop it across the brook onto the power lines on the far side, Dr. Vance understands. The tower becomes a massive conductor. It'll create a short circuit across the entire distribution network. Everything within 10 miles goes dark, including Springfield Substation's restoration sequence. It won't stop them, Jamie says. They're already infected. They're already here. But it stops the 0400 energization. It stops the hospital. It stops 50 more people from becoming network nodes. It stops Becca Habernath from touching her phone charger and turning into whatever her father is now. The infected are 30 feet away. 20. I can see faces now. Henderson, Lee, others I don't recognize. And there in the front, moving fastest, eyes brightest. Tommy. He sees me through the window. His mouth opens. The clicking sound forms words, processed through his vocal cords like text-to-speech. Elliot. Friend. Stop. Resistance. Futile. Join. Network. Join. Us. I'm crying now, which is stupid because Tommy can't hear me. Tommy's gone. I'm sorry I didn't stop you from climbing that pole. I'm sorry I didn't cut the power fast enough. Elliot. Dr. Vance is at the control panel, pulling open a maintenance hatch. Inside, for explosive bolts, each connected to the tower's support struts. This is a two-person operation. Someone needs to set the delay timer. Someone needs to stay behind and manually trigger the sequence. What's the delay? 45 seconds. Enough time to clear the blast radius if you run. Not enough time if you stay. She's telling me someone has to die. I look at Jamie, 2 kids in middle school. I look at Dr. Vance, created this thing, responsible for stopping it. I look at myself in the window's reflection. Divorced, no kids, no one waiting at home except a cat that my neighbor feeds when I'm on extended service calls. The math is simple. I'll do it, I say. No. Jamie grabs me. No. Elliot, we'll figure something else. There's nothing else. You know that. I'm already moving toward the control panel. Dr. Vance is showing me the trigger sequence. Red button arms the system. Green button starts the countdown. Yellow button is manual override in case you need to abort. 45 seconds, Dr. Vance repeats. You hit green and run. Don't look back. Just run. What happens to them? I point at the infected. When the tower comes down, the short circuit will feed back through the network. Massive voltage spike. It'll fry every electrical system in a 10-mile radius, including the bacteria in their nervous systems. Will it kill them? Unknown. But it'll sever their connection to the network. They'll be isolated. Non-functional. Good enough. Jamie's crying. Elliot, please. Get her out of here, I tell Dr. Vance. Make sure she gets home. Make sure her kids are okay. Dr. Vance nods. She grabbed Jamie and they're moving out the shed door, running downslope toward the brook. Jamie's screaming my name, but the sound gets quieter, swallowed by distance and wind and the humming of the infected. Tommy reaches the shed. His hand touches the door. The metal glows blue. I look at him through the window. You taught me everything about this job. How to climb, how to splice, how to stay safe. You told me the most important rule. Never complete a circuit with your body. Remember? His mouth clicks. Remember. Elliot. Friend. Join. Network. Join. Becca. Proud. UVM. Engineering. He still knows about Becca. Some part of Tommy is still in there, trapped in the network, using his memories like data storage. That makes what I'm about to do harder. I'm going to save your daughter. I'm going to make sure she stays human. That's all I can do. I hit the red button. The panel lights up. Armed. Ready. The infected are at the door now. 10 of them. 20. 50. Their hands on the metal. Their eyes glowing. The humming so loud, I can't think. The shed walls are buckling inward. I look at the timer controls. 45 seconds. Enough time to run. Or no time at all. Because when I arm this system, the electromagnetic pulse it generates will trigger every infected within a mile. They'll know instantly. They'll converge on this position faster than I can move. If I set the delay, they'll stop me before I reach the blast radius. But if I stay, my Klein detector falls out of my pocket. It hits the floor and the reading is visible. 3,800 volts. Enough to kill instantly. Enough to stop my heart before neurons register pain. I think about Lauren, my ex-wife. We split up 3 years ago because I worked too much, because I was never home, because I chose this job over our marriage. She was right. I did. I chose climbing poles and splicing lines and fixing other people's power while my own life went dark. Maybe this is how it was always going to end. I hit the green button. The countdown starts. 45, 44, 43. The door explodes inward. 50 infected pour through, and Tommy's in front, and he's reaching for me. And his voice is doing that clicking thing, except this time it's not words, it's just sound, raw electromagnetic noise processed through human vocal cords. Elliot, stop, abort, yellow button, press, abort, save, self, join, network, forever, together, crew, family, 38, 37, 36. His hand touches my shoulder. The voltage flows through his skin into mine, and I can feel the bacteria trying to establish connection, try to burrow into my nervous system, trying to make me another node. I grab Tommy's hand. I squeeze it. Just for a second. I'll tell Becky you loved her. Then I let go. 30, 29, 28. I'm running. Out the back of the shed, through a maintenance access I didn't know existed, and the infected are following, but they're slow. They're trying to process this new variable, and I'm halfway down the slope before they organize. 2019, 18. Jamie and Dr. Vance are at the brook, screaming, waving. I'm running toward them, but the ice is everywhere, and I'm slipping, falling, and behind me the infected are coming down the slope like an avalanche. 50 bodies moving in perfect coordination. 10, 9, 8. I'm not going to make it. The blast radius is 200 feet. I'm maybe 150 feet from the tower. Not far enough, but Jamie and Dr. Vance are. They're across the brook. Safe. 5, 4, 3. Tommy's hand grabs my ankle. I go down hard, face first into ice. He's pulling me back toward the tower. His strength is impossible. His eyes are so bright, I'm blind. 2, 1. The tower explodes. Not fire, light. Pure white light that turns night into noon. And the sound isn't sound, it's pressure. It's a physical wall hitting my body and Tommy's body and every infected body on the slope, and we're flying. The world is rotating. Sky becomes ground, becomes sky. Then impact. My back hits something, tree, rock, ice, doesn't matter. Everything stops. Sound comes back slowly. First, ringing in my ears. Then wind. Then Jamie screaming my name. I open my eyes. The sky is black again. The moon is visible through ice-coated branches. I sit up. Everything hurts, but nothing's broken. I check my body, arms, legs, ribs. All functional. Bruised, but functional. The tower is down. I can see it through the trees. 200 feet of twisted metal stretching across the brook, collapsed exactly as designed, its top section lying across the power lines on the far side. Sparks. Massive sparks. The tower is conducting current from the distribution lines directly into ground. The short circuit is so severe the whole forest is lit up, strobing white, blue. Then darkness. Complete darkness. The sparks stop. The lines are dead. Springfield Substation's restoration sequence. Aborted. I look at my watch. 3 minutes before the 0400 energization. 3 minutes before Rutland Hospital's ventilators energized. 3 minutes before 50 patients became network nodes. We stopped it. Then I see the bodies. They're everywhere on the slope. 50 infected collapsed where they stood, not moving. The short circuit did exactly what Dr. Vance predicted. Fried the bacteria in their nervous systems. Severed their connection to the network. I stand up. Walk toward the nearest body. It's Henderson. His eyes are closed. I check for a pulse. Nothing. The next body is Lee. Same. Dead. I keep checking. 10 bodies. 20. All dead. The voltage spike that killed the bacteria killed them too. Their nervous systems too integrated with the bacterial network. When one died, both died. Then I reach Tommy. He's lying face down in the snow. His jacket is smoking. His skin is burnt. I turn him over and his eyes are open and they're not glowing. They're just brown, normal brown, and I'm checking for a pulse and there's nothing. And I'm starting CPR even though I know it's pointless. 30 compressions, 2 breaths, 30 compressions. And I'm crying and screaming and Jamie's there and Dr. Vance is there and they're pulling me away. He's gone. Dr. Vance says, they're all gone. The bacteria killed them when we severed the network. You said isolated. You said non-functional. You didn't say dead. I said unknown. I didn't know. I'm looking at Tommy's face. He's 40 feet from the tower. The blast should have killed him. The voltage spike should have killed him. But he's still here, and maybe if I just keep doing CPR, maybe if I just keep trying. Elliot. Jamie pulls me away. Stop. Look at his eyes. I look. Tommy's eyes are brown. Normal. Human. And he's smiling. Just slightly. A small smile. Like he's finally at peace. Like he's himself again, just for a second before the end. The Chittenden Medical Center is running on backup generators. Has been for 6 days now. Ever since someone, 3 anonymous linemen, according to state police reports, brought down the Killington Communications tower, and short-circuited the Central Vermont power grid. I'm coordinator now. Emergency response. National Grid reassigned me after Springfield substation went dark. After 48 infected personnel stopped being personnel and started being bodies. After the department dissolved and state police started arresting anyone connected to the unauthorized biological field test. Dr. Vance is in federal custody. She cooperated, gave them everything. Names, dates, contamination vectors. She'll spend maybe 3 years in minimum security for her role in creating the bacteria, then get released with a new identity and a federal pension. That's how these things work when you're valuable enough. Jamie went home, saw her kids, found them safe, asleep in their beds, phones charging on their nightstands, but not yet energized because I dropped the tower at 3:57 a.m. and main power restoration was scheduled for 4 a.m. 3 minutes. That's how close her kids came to being network nodes. She quit 2 days later, didn't give notice, just left her gear in the truck and walked away. I haven't heard from her since. I'm sitting in a medical center parking lot. It's 4 a.m., same time as the failed restoration 6 days ago. I come here every night at 4 a.m. and sit in my truck and think about 50 patients who are still alive because I stayed behind. 50 ventilator-dependent people who don't know how close they came, who don't know that their survival required Tommy Habernath dying on a frozen slope so his daughter could stay human. Becca called me 3 days ago. She'd heard about her father, heard the state police version, electrical accident during storm response. They didn't tell her about the bacteria, about the network, about the department's plan to turn humans into infrastructure. They didn't tell her Tommy was infected when he died. I didn't tell her either. What would I say? Your father became something else for 3 hours before I killed him? Your father's last words were processed through electromagnetic pulses that used his vocal cords like a speaker? Your father smiled at the end because some part of him was still human enough to understand he was saving you? I said, he was a good lineman. He taught me everything. She cried. I listened. Then she asked if I'd speak at the memorial service. Say a few words about her father's career, his competence, his dedication. I said yes. The service is tomorrow. I have no idea what I'm going to say. The Klein detector is in my cup holder. I've been carrying it constantly since Killington Peak. Every morning, I check it when I wake up. Every night, I check it before sleep. Still reading 0. No infected nearby. But sometimes, maybe twice a day, maybe 3 times, it beeps once. Just once. A single chirp, like it's detecting something. Some residual electromagnetic signature from the network, maybe, or interference from the medical center's backup generators, or my imagination turning normal electrical noise into threat assessment. Or maybe they're still infected out there, isolated, moving through dark forests where power lines don't reach. Vermont Public Service crews have found 18 bodies so far. 18 infected linemen who collapsed when I dropped the tower. The department employed 43 field personnel during the ice storm response. That leaves 25 unaccounted for. 25 bodies somewhere in the woods. Or 25 things that used to be bodies, now isolated from the network, but still mobile, still carrying bacteria in their nervous systems, still looking for current sources to reconnect. The state says they're dead. Says the bacteria can't survive without network coordination. Says the electromagnetic pulse from the short circuit sterilized every infected individual within 20 miles. Dr. Vance says they're probably right. 90% probability, she told federal investigators. Maybe 95%, but she said probably. I've been driving section roads at night, checking poles, inspecting junction boxes, looking for signs, scorch marks, melted insulation, disturbances in the snow near transformer stations. I found something yesterday. Mile marker 42 on Route 4. A pole with fresh climbing marks. Gaff scratches in the wood, recent enough that wood pulp is still visible. Someone climbed that pole within the last 48 hours. Could be a department crew doing safety inspections. Could be state police documenting evidence. Could be me seeing patterns where there aren't patterns because I spent 3 hours watching my friend turn into something else, and I can't forget the way his eyes glowed. But the Klein detector beeped when I checked that pole. Just once. Single chirp, then silence. I reported it to state police. They said they'd investigate. That was yesterday. I haven't heard back. Rutland Hospital is scheduled to restore main power in 6 days. National Grid brought in outside crews, non-Vermont personnel with no contamination exposure, to rebuild the damaged distribution network. They're using new lines, new transformers, new everything, sterilized infrastructure. The department's official position before dissolution. The bacteria couldn't survive standard electrical infrastructure. Too much heat, too much electromagnetic interference. The only reason Springfield substation became contaminated was because someone introduced bacterial colonies directly into the cooling systems during the ice storm response. Someone. They never identified who. Federal investigation ongoing. Probable suspects in custody, but no charges filed. I think about Tommy's words, processed through dying neurons at the moment I hit the countdown button. Elliot. Stop. Abort. Yellow button. Press. Abort. Save. Self. Join. Network. Forever. Together. Crew. Family. He wanted me to join. Some part of him, maybe the bacteria using his memories, maybe Tommy himself, wanted me in the network. Wanted us working together forever. Crew. Family. I pressed green instead of yellow. I chose to kill him. Kill all of them. Federal investigators called it heroic. Local news called me a hero. Governor's office sent a letter thanking me for quick thinking during crisis conditions. Jamie knows better. She was there. She saw me make the calculation. 50 future infections versus 50 current infections. Strangers versus Tommy. The math was simple. I'd choose strangers again, but I don't feel heroic. I feel like a lineman who couldn't save his crew, who stayed alive while everyone he worked with died, who sits in medical center parking lots at 4 a.m. waiting for his Klein detector to beep, because at least that would mean something survived. At least that would mean Tommy's death mattered beyond electrical accident during storm response. The detector chirps, just once. Single tone, then silence. I check the reading, 0.0 volts. Nothing. Phantom signal, but my hands are shaking. I start the truck, drive out of the parking lot, head east on Route 4 toward mile marker 42, toward the pole with fresh climbing marks. I don't know what I'll find there. Maybe nothing. Maybe scorch marks and gaff scratches from a legitimate inspection crew. Maybe something else. The Klein detector chirps again. Still reading 0 volts. Still phantom signal. Or not phantom. Route 4 is empty at 4 a.m. No traffic. No weaknesses. Just me and frozen asphalt and power lines running parallel to the road for 80 miles. Lines that Vermont Public Service says are sterilized. Clean. Safe. Lines that chirp my detector even when they're reading 0 volts. I reach mile marker 42. The pole is there, exactly where I left it yesterday. I park on the shoulder, grab my flashlight, the Streamlight Stinger I've carried for 12 years, the one Tommy gave me when I made Journeyman. The climbing marks are still visible. Fresh wood. Someone was here recently. I scan the tree line with my flashlight. Nothing. Just shadows and ice-coated branches and the sound of wind through frozen trees that sounds almost like clicking if you listen wrong. The detector chirps 3 times. Then silence. Still reading 0 volts. I'm walking toward the pole. I don't know why. Professional curiosity, maybe. Or guilt. Or the part of me that needs to know if Tommy's death actually stopped the network or if I just scattered it. Broke it into isolated pieces that are still out there. Still infected. Still waiting for someone to re-energize the lines so they can reconnect. My boots crunch in snow. The pole is 20 feet away. 15. 10. The detector goes solid tone. I look at the reading. 240 volts. 480. 680. 900. But the line is dead. I confirmed it dead myself 6 hours ago during routine inspection. Nothing in this section has power. The transformer station 3 miles south is still offline, pending federal safety clearance. This line should be reading 0. I pull my flashlight up the pole, toward the crossbeam, toward the transformer mounted 30 feet up. There's something on the transformer. Not ice, not snow, something else, something moving. I'm backing away. My hand is reaching for my phone. No signal. Hasn't had signal in this section since the ice storm. But I'm dialing 911 anyway, because what else do you do when you see something on a transformer that shouldn't be there, something that moves wrong, something that... It drops, falls from the transformer, 30 feet straight down, lands in snow 10 feet from me. Stands up. The flashlight beam catches his face. Frank Russo, Burlington lineman, Little League coach, Chevy Silverado owner. Left side of his face still burnt. Left eye socket still empty. Right eye open and glowing white, but different from before. The glow is dimmer, flickering, like a bulb at low voltage. Like something dying. He opens his mouth. The clicking sound comes out, but it's not organized. Not language. Just noise. Random electromagnetic pulses processed through human vocal cords that don't work right anymore. The detector in my hand is screaming. 1,800 volts. 2,200. Rising exponentially. He's generating current. His body is producing voltage. The bacteria in his nervous system is still active, still trying to establish network connection. But there's no network anymore. Just him. Isolated. Alone. My voice sounds steady, which is wrong because nothing about me is steady. Can you understand me? Are you in there? The clicking stops. His head tilts. Processing. Then his mouth opens and something almost like words comes out. Net. Work. Gone. Brothers. Gone. Connection. Lost. Searching. Searching. Can't find. He's looking for the others. The other infected. The network that connected them. But the network died when I dropped the tower. When a short circuit severed their electromagnetic coordination. Now he's alone. A node looking for a network that doesn't exist anymore. They're gone. I say. The network is gone. The others are dead. Dead. He repeats it, testing the word. Dead. Body. Stop. Function. Dead. Yes. But. Still. Here. Still. Conscious. Still. Aware. Oh God. He's still in there. Frank Russo is still conscious. Trapped in a body that the bacteria has transformed into biological electrical infrastructure. Aware, but not human. Alive, but not living. Russo, listen to me. We can help you. We can. Help. No. Help. The clicking intensifies. Bacteria. Integrated. Nervous system. Remove bacteria. Kill host. Keep bacteria. Both. Options. Death. He's telling me the same thing Dr. Vance told federal investigators. There's no cure. The bacteria is too integrated with neural tissue. Remove it and the host dies. Leave it and the host stops being human. How many? I ask. How many others are still out there? Still isolated like you? Searching. 7 days. Found. 3. Others. All damaged. All isolated. All searching. Network. Gone. For infected still mobile. For former linemen moving through dark forests, looking for power sources, looking for each other, looking for something they'll never find again. Where are the others? Mile. Marker. 19. Route. 7. 1. There. Mile. Marker. 73. Route. 4. 2. There. Searching. Always. Searching. He's telling me exactly where to find them. Giving me locations. Like he wants to be found. Like he wants this to end. Russo, why are you telling me this? The clicking sound changes. Becomes almost like laughter. Broken. Wrong. Tommy. Showed. Me. Before. Network. Died. Tommy. Smiled. End. Relief. Want. Same. Want. End. Stop. Searching. Tommy smiled because he knew it was over. Knew he was dying. Knew Becca would be safe. Russo saw that through the network before I severed it. Saw Tommy's final moment of humanity. Now Russo wants the same thing. I can't. I say. I can't kill you. Not. Kill. Release. End. Searching. Please. Elliot. Friend. Colleague. Mercy. My hand is on my Klein detector. Still screaming. Still reading 2,400 volts. Enough voltage to kill a human instantly if properly grounded. Russo sees me looking at the detector. Understands. Ground. Needed. Complete. CFQ. Touch. Me. Touch. Earth. Current. Flows. Through. You. Through. Ground. Bacteria. Overloads. D's. E. D. Finally. D. He's asking me to ground him. To become the path for 2,400 volts to flow from his body into Earth. The current would kill us both. The bacteria would die. Russo would die. I would die. Tommy's voice in my memory. The most important rule: never complete a circuit with your body. There has to be another way. No way. Please. 7 days. Searching. 7 days. Alone. Can't. Sleep. Can't. Eat. Can't. Stop. Moving. Just. Searching. For. Network. That. Doesn't. Exist. Please. Elliot. End. This. I look at my truck. 20 feet away. I could run. Gin. Drive away. Call state police. Let them handle this. Let someone else make this decision. But Russo's still talking. Others. Same. Mile. 19. Mile. 73. Still. Searching. Will. Search. Forever. Unless. Someone. Ends. Them. For infected linemen. For isolated nodes. Searching forever through dark forests for a network that's gone. Aware enough to know they're trapped. Conscious enough to suffer. I think about Tommy smiling at the end. That moment of peace. That final second of humanity. I think about Becca Habernath giving her father's eulogy tomorrow. Talking about his dedication. His service. His sacrifice. I think about Jamie's kids asleep in Burlington, alive because 53 people died on a frozen slope. The math is always simple. The choice is always impossible. I'm taking off my glove. My bare hand reaches for his arm. His skin is cold. Freezing. The voltage flows through his body into mine, and I can feel it. Every nerve firing simultaneously, muscles locking, heart stopping, and I'm not breathing, can't breathe, and the Klein detector is screaming and my vision is white. And I let go, fall backward into snow. My heart restarts. Painful, wrong rhythm, but beating. Russo's still standing, still glowing. The voltage spike wasn't enough. My contact time was too brief. The circuit didn't complete. Can't, I say. My voice is shaking. I can't do it. Understand. The clicking sounds sad. Fear. Natural. Survival. Instinct. Strong. Even. When. Survival. Worse. Than. Death. He turns. Starts walking. Not toward me. Away. Back into the forest. Back to searching for a network that will never exist again. Wait. He stops. Looks back. The others. Mile 19 and mile 73. I'll find them. I'll figure something out. A way to end this. A way to give you all what Tommy got. Peace. Humanity. Even if it's just for a second. I don't know. But I'm a lineman. I understand circuits. I understand current flow. I understand how to complete a path from source to ground without becoming part of that path myself. Give me 3 days, I say. Come back here in 3 days. 4 nachts. Bring the others if you can find them. I'll have something. I'll figure something out. Russo's head tilts. Processing. Then 3 days. 4. Will. Bring. Others. If. Still. Searching. He walks into darkness. Into trees. His LED eyes fade. Disappear. The forest goes black. My Klein detector goes silent. I'm sitting in snow. My bare hand is burnt where I touched Russo's arm. 1st degree. Maybe 2nd degree. I'll need to treat it. Bandage it. Explain it somehow when people ask. Electrical accident during routine inspection. That's what I'll say. Same thing I've been saying for 7 days. My phone buzzes. Text message. Same unknown number from before. Just 3 words this time. 4 still active. Then nothing. Dead phone. Black screen. Someone still tracking them. Someone in the department who wasn't arrested. Someone who knows exactly how many infected are still mobile. Someone who might know how to end this. I drive back to the medical center. Park in the same spot. Check my watch. 5:47 a.m. Tommy's memorial service is in 9 hours. I need to write something. Say something. Explain to Becca why her father died a hero without explaining what he actually died as. I need to figure out how to ground 4 infected linemen without completing the circuit through my own body. I need to stop the Klein detector from chirping every time I pass a power line. I need to sleep. I haven't slept more than 90 minutes straight since Killington Peak. Every time I close my eyes, I see Tommy smile. His final moment. His relief. My hand hurts. The burn from Russo's arm. I look at it under the truck's dome light. The skin is blackened. Charred. The same burn pattern I saw on Russo's face. On Tommy's jacket, the same burn pattern that every infected has. I'm not infected. The exposure time was too brief. The bacteria needs sustained current flow to establish integration with neural tissue. I checked myself with every diagnostic tool National Grid has. EEG, MRI, nerve conduction studies. All normal, but my hand looks exactly like theirs. And the Klein detector chirps sometimes even when there's no voltage source nearby. And I haven't slept more than 90 minutes straight in 7 days. And I keep coming back to this parking lot at 4 a.m. because something draws me here. Something I can't explain. Something that feels almost like searching. No, I'm not infected. That's different. That's human. That's what happens when you watch 50 people die and you're the only one who walks away. That's what I tell myself. The detector chirps once. Reading 0.0 volts. I put my glove back on. Cover the burn. Start the truck. Drive to the Route 4 Dunkin' Donuts where Tommy used to show waitresses pictures of Becca. The waitress recognizes me. You're Tommy's friend. I heard about what happened. I'm so sorry. Thank you. He was so proud of his daughter. Talked about her all the time. Engineering at UVM. He said she was going to build better power grids. Make them safer. He did say that. Coffee. Large. Black. To go. She pours it. I pay. I sit in the parking lot and drink coffee that tastes like nothing and watch the sun come up over frozen Vermont. And think about 4 infected linemen searching through dark forests and a memorial service in 9 hours and a promise I made to Russo that I don't know how to keep. 3 days. Mile marker 42. I'll be there. With a solution or without one. Because that's what linemen do. We restore power. We fix what's broken. We complete circuits. Even when the circuit includes ourselves. Even when the current kills us. Even when we smile at the end. Because at least it's finally over. The Klein detector chirps. I don't check the reading anymore. I just drive.